Morning all, hope you're all well. This video is going to be a bit different. So I'll be doing two walks today instead of the usual one, and the reason for that is I saw a social media post yesterday just by accident, you know, one of those suggested for you posts. It was the Daily Post reporting on a new walk near Dolgellau in the south of Snowdonia. So they've hyped it up so much, I've got to go investigate. The views are meant to be absolutely panoramic. But the second walk is the old Precipice walk, which is just at the north of Dolgellau. So I'll be doing that one first, then I'll be doing the new Precipice walk. So I suppose you could call this a comparison video. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. The weather's looking all right, you know, touch wood. Should take me an hour to get there, but first I need fuel. So as you can tell, I've arrived at my first destination, which is the original Precipice walk. I'm 3 miles from Dolgellau, I'm just to the north of it, and I could just see the village of Karnivool. I'm about a mile away from that, so I'm in between those two places, so I'm closer to Karnivool than I am Dolgellau. And the other Precipice walk, the new one, is about 3-4 miles back down on the 470. So that one I'm looking forward to do, but so far 15 minutes into this walk, this is looking pretty damn cool. Cracking views so far, and I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg. Both trails take about between an hour and a half and 2 hours to do. This one is a loopy trail, and the new one that I'm doing later is more of a there and back kind of trail. So it isn't as long as this one, but it shouldn't be no less interesting. I nearly tripped there. I really should be able to walk and talk at the same time without tripping up. Oh dear. So you can see down there, that's the A470, and that's the road I used to come here. And I remember whilst driving on that road, I said to myself, I wonder if I'm going up there. I was right. For once I was right. Oh, I can see the Malvach estuary in the distance, and I can just about see Barmouth Bridge. I think I can anyway, I'm sure it is. You might recognise that from the previous video that I did recently. I've got to get used to seeing the Malvach estuary, well, the Avon Malvach in particular, because that's pretty much where I'll be walking later on. So far so fantastic. I tell you what this walk reminds me of. I know it's not the same, but it does remind me of, I think it's called the Campiano del Muerte, or whatever you call it, in Bolivia, the Death Road. If you've seen Top Gear, where you see Hammond, Clarkson and May drive their 4x4s on that road, it does remind me of that, this walk, because there's no barriers, you know, one trip or something like that, and you could be down there on the road. Well, not quite the road, but you know what I mean. I'm so glad I've decided to do this today. I mean, look at that behind me. I love last minute decisions like this. You can see Avon Malvach opening up. You can clearly see Barmouth Bridge now. I don't know how many miles it is from here as the crow flies, but I know if you started driving from down there, that's still the 470 down there, that's about 8.5, 9 miles. Tell you what, the new Precipice walkers, oh my goodness, it's got to be spectacular. It has to blow me away just to beat this one. I am loving this. I suppose the only thing that could make it slightly better, and that's just me being really picky, is the weather. It's a little bit overcast, and there's a couple of blotches of sun trying to squeeze through the cracks of the clouds, but that's just me being picky. It's still awesome though. It's still getting some great views, and you can still see for miles, which is the most important thing anyway. So again, I'm just picky. If I can get to them. I've just seen some deer. Crikey, I forgot they roam about this area. God, it would be awesome if I can get close to one. I think the last time I got close to a deer was in my Glen Cove video. At the end of that, where it just tipped it down. Wow. I've just been talking to that chap there. He was taking pictures of those deer that I mentioned, but I'm keeping my voice down a bit because sometimes I can be a little bit loud, and I was apparently, because we were both talking, I kind of disturbed them a bit, so so I'm just keeping my voice down for a bit. Apparently there's loads of them apparently. God, it would be cool. Imagine that for a thumbnail. I think it's just dawned on me as to why the bloke asked me to keep my voice down a little bit. I've passed 3 other blokes with shotguns, and I think they were after those deer that I saw. That's not for me. That's not for me. That is sad. I mean, each to their own. Each to their own. If you want to do it, but no. Oh, that's a shame. That's put a dampener on this walk a little bit. Did you hear that? Is that a hunting call or something? Crikey. I hope I don't get to hear any shotguns. Oh, crikey. I think I'm only about 10-15 minutes away from the car now. I think the loop is about to close up. It's only taken me over an hour. I did walk pretty fast because a little bit pressed for time because I'm off to a gig tonight in Manchester. I'm off to see a band called Karnivool, which are progressive rock / metal from Australia. They've postponed this gig quite a few times because of the pandemic and logistical issues, so I'm properly looking forward to that tonight. So before I get to do that, there's a case of one more walk to do. And there it is. That's the start of the loop. That's the path I've been up and did the anti-clockwise route. On the Old Trails app, it said that this loop was marked as was rated as easy. I tend to agree, and I think they should rename this as a piece of walk. I'm sorry, that was awful. I'll bleep that out. That walk I seriously enjoyed. Those views were just fantastic. I'm not letting those hunters dampen my overall rating. I'm ignoring them. It's all about the overall experience for me. And to me, I think that was a solid 9.5 out of 10. But I tell you something though, after what I've been hearing in the Daily Post hyping up that new Precipice walk, tell you something, it's got a lot to live up to. Whew. Here we go, back in the car. I'll see you at the second destination. See you in a bit. Okay, second destination, New Precipice Walk. This is the village of Llynestid. I'm not far from the main roundabout, which is just down there, so if you turn left at that roundabout, you've got Trosfynydd, Porthmadog, and if you turn right, you've got Dolgellau, Bala, Machynlleth, and if you go this way, you've got Barmet and Harlech. So yeah, pretty easy to get to compared to the first walk, so that's a win. Right, no time like the present, let's do it. Oh, security. It's up these stairs apparently. Oh yeah, here we are. Public footpath. We'll say no vehicles. There's no way, even if you tried just to get a vehicle up here. No way. That's funny. Stiff gate. Well, this trail is still pretty new. I think it only was conceived about, I don't know, 2020, 2021. During lockdown, I think a local woman conceived this as a way of just getting out of the house, because I think at the time you're only allowed to travel 5 miles and no further than that. So I think what she did, I think she was from Barmouth, so just down the road. I think what she did, she hidden a lot of rocks. She painted some rocks and she hidden them for all the youngsters to come up and find them, which I think that's a really cool idea. But I can already see some differences between this walk and the original Precipice walk. There's not a lot of signs, and the paths, I keep having to look at the app just so I don't get lost, because it's not very obvious. But then again, it's still new. It's only a couple of years old, so So where I've parked my car at the start point, turns out that's the end point. So technically I'm heading up to the actual start point, where I call the end point, and then I'm coming back down to the start point, where it is actually the end point, where you're supposed to turn around and then you go up the hill. Crikey, are you catching me so far? So I'm doing this the wrong way round, but to be perfectly honest, I don't really want to start right at the top. I'd rather have a nice reward for all my hard work. So I'd rather do it this way, to do all the hard work first, call the start point where the end point is, and then call the end point where the start point is. Crikey. That was one take. I'm actually impressed. I'm not very well spoken, so I best pat myself on the back and give myself a handshake. Woo! So according to this, I'm already more than halfway, and I'm hoping that the gradient plateaus a bit. There's probably a couple more hills, but something tells me that I'm pretty close to the end, or the start if you want to judge what the app says. But it's like when you're a kid and if you don't eat your vegetables, you don't get any pudding. This is what it's like for me. This is me eating my vegetables, and the pudding is the reward at the very end. My prediction is, once I pass this old derelict building, I'm hoping to see probably one of the best views, potentially, I have ever seen. Even from here, you can hear the boy races. Oh wait, no, it's not. That was a plane, that was not a boy race. This is already looking extremely promising. I mean, just look at that. You got Dolgellau just there. You got Avon Malddach just there. I can just see, is that Penman Pool there with a wooden bridge? Just need to go through this wall. I have a feeling the views are going to open up completely now. I'm going to do what I did in Glencoe. You could see it. You can see the view, but I can't just yet. Oh, look at that, man! Oh wow! Oh, isn't that stunning? And that is my pudding. I've eaten all my veggies, and this is my pudding, and this is my reward. I think according to that article I saw from the Daily Post on Facebook, that everyone was rating this, what was it, 97% on average. I can see why. I can definitely see why. And I've also read about these old railway lines here. This is to give wheelchair users more security, or whatever you call it. You know, save them potentially rolling off the hills. It's just so that they can see this view in all its glory for themselves, which I think that's a fantastic idea. Right, I believe I have reached the end point, or the start point. I'm not going to do that again. So this is where I'm going to turn around and head back to the car. Actually, not yet. Apparently there's a little mountain up here, there's a summit, so I'm going to see if there's a trig point. It'd be rude not to. Do you see what I see? I can see the trig point. Oh, this will definitely round off the two walks, absolutely. And here we are. Whew. I'll just look at that. Look at that for a view. Oh my God. This is going down as one of the best walks I've ever done. Absolutely. Oh, I'm lost for words. Goosebumps. Wow. And you can see from here, I think, oh, where was I? I think it was just about there somewhere. That's the original Precipice walk where I was earlier. Yeah, it's around about there somewhere. Oh my goodness. Right, I'm going to head down to the car, gather my thoughts, and I'll see you down there. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm nearly at the bottom now, and I've done some think-abouting. Well, in terms of views, I think the new Precipice walk wins it hands down. Even though the original was incredible, like 10 out of 10, this is 11 out of 10. That was just incredible. But for ease of use, I suppose is the right way you'd say, I think the original wins it. You can get there easily, you know, there's not many ascents or descents or something like that, but that was the original was a lot easier. This one was a lot harder, and it was rated as moderate on the All Trails app, which I can see that. I think that's a fair rating. But oh crikey. But I would probably go back to the original one because, well, to me it's easier and I'd probably spend more time there. Maybe have a picnic up there or something. But if I was to do the new Precipice walk again, I'd probably drive up there, park the car, and just walk to those benches that you'd see that you've seen earlier in the video. But on the whole, today, massive success. I'm so glad I did this. And going up to that mountain, you double tap that trig point, that was the icing on the cake. Well, not even icing, that was the cherry on top, and then some. But if you want to do what I did today, I'd highly recommend it. Absolutely highly recommend it. It didn't take me as long as I thought. It was like an hour and a half for both each, so in total 3.5 hours, and it took me about 10 minutes to get from the original to the new Precipice walk. You can tell how hungry and thirsty I am. I can barely talk. So I'm right at the bottom now. I'm literally about 2-3 minutes away from the car. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sign off. So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you want. It'll help me greatly. So thank you. See you in the next one.